what better way to have an instant in sorcery for flow state than playing turn 1 Dark Ritual Doomsday? Okay, welcome back, vintage gamers, to a off-stream recording. Couldn't get to stream on Wednesday night. Work has been crazy, but hopefully it's dying down as we are resolving most of the major issues. So I'm gonna record this off-stream league here, and I'm gonna test flow state some more. We were pretty impressed with flow state in all the builds we've tried so far. And one thing that I particularly liked conceptually is Dark Ritual Doomsday is instant sorcery. So if on turn 1 you go Dark Ritual Doomsday, and on turn 2 you have turned on flow state to refill, this seemed like a pretty strong methodology and encouraged you to play a little bit more aggressively, which is how I prefer to play Doomsday anyways. So it's hard to fit 4 cards into Doomsday. Once they unrestricted ponder, the number of flex slots in the deck has drastically decreased. So it was quite challenging to do this, but to get 4 flow state into the deck, I cut a Flusterstorm, a Vamp Tutor, I cut a Necropotence, I cut a Negation, and then I also wanted to put a Lotus Petal in my deck to encourage that turn 1 line. So I also cut a Treasure Cruise because it might conflict with flow state a little bit. So I don't feel too bad about any of those cuts. Necro is a card that is a suspect level of effective in Doomsday. It is a card that you could just cut and play Lurrus Frog. I don't think it's like the main reason you don't play Lurrus. I think Street Wraith is actually the main reason you don't play Lurrus. And the Vamp has been bad as, you know, once Frog and PO are a huge part of the metagame, the Vamp gets pretty bad. An extra Flusterstorm, I don't think we're going to, I don't think we want to cut it, but it's not like a huge miss. And then I'm not really that sad about losing a Treasure Cruise, and Negation doesn't help us combo either. So, yeah, I think this makes sense. It will probably effectively put our flow states into the conversation. Because I don't know that 4 flow state is the correct number of flow state. You could absolutely just play 2 flow state and keep 2 of the best cards that I cut. The reason I want to play 4 is because I really want to test the interactions. But when you have 4 flow states, you do have a substantial amount of card selection and card draw in your deck. So hopefully the interaction that we cut to get these flow states in there isn't too much. But it could be, and that's a good reason to, maybe trim back 2 flow states and add the, maybe the Negation and the Flusterstorm back in. I could see that happening too. But for now, what we'll do is we'll test out 4 flow states. So this is a pretty, bare bones Doomsday list. All the 4 ofs that you would expect, all of the 1 ofs you would expect besides Cruise. Like I said, I just added an extra pedal because I've always liked the pedal, but sometimes it's hard to fit into the deck. And then I just took my sideboard mostly from the ELD event I played recently. Just removal, anti-artifact, 1 trap, ley lines, null rods, and tabernacle. Nothing crazy here. So we're going to play through a vintage league and see if we can activate flow state, or if we don't even need to, as we bring Doom to our opponent. I'll see you in round 1. I am happy to announce the dates for high-stakes, proxy-friendly vintage in 2026. The legendary NYSE returns to Long Island in New York on June 6th. This $500 entry fee tournament will pay out 8 pieces of unlimited power. The Oklahoma Land Run returns in 2026 on July 10th through 12th at the Reed Convention Center in Oklahoma City. Play Friday Team Trios, Saturday Legacy for a Mox Sapphire, and Sunday Vintage for a Mox Emerald. Event links can be found in the description below. I hope to see you there. Let's battle. Okay, welcome to round 1. Seems fine. I'm gonna go with pass here. It leaves me with the most options, lets me figure out if my opponent's playing Wasteland or not. leaves me with the ability to play Flusterstorm, Brainstorm, Street Wraith, leaves me with the ability to fetch an Undercity Sewers, so I think there's no... I don't think it's like... If I fetched anything, I'd fetch like a basic island and Preordain. I don't really like that play very much. Okay, Volcanic Island Sapphire. And Time Vault. Yep. All right. So I'm expecting some kind of Grixis Tinker style deck here. Could be the Welder deck, in which case the Mental Misstep could be pretty good. I'm going to just fetch that Undercity Sewers that we talked about. It's a pretty decent one to keep, even if it's not progressing our game plan. So I'm going to keep it. And then I'll cast Preordain looking for a land to hold open Flusterstorm. Dark Ritual Doomsday. Okay. I think that's acceptable with a Street Wraith and the ability to do Ancestral after. So I will keep... I'll keep these cards and hope that my Force plus Misstep backup is enough. And then next turn we have a win with Street Wraith. I don't know if that's better than actually hitting a land there, but it's not terrible. Would have loved to be able to Flusterstorm that. I'm going to let it happen. I don't think there's any reason to fight over this when I can fight over my Doomsday that wins the game. I won't be able to draw land, but can I win the game if I have to use my Flusterstorm? That's a question, right? So if I have to use my Flusterstorm, I could Street Wraith into a... So if I have to use my Flusterstorm and my Force on that, I can't win on the spot. But if I don't have to use my Brainstorm, I could theoretically Brainstorm into an Ancestral and still win, I think. So you got a Lotus. See how this goes. Ritual. Doomsday. Resolves. Okay. My pile is just going to be Ancestral, Lotus, Oracle land, probably. I'm going to Street Wraith into Ancestral. Ancestral is going to draw me Lotus. If I cast Lotus, I have Oracle with Flusterstorm backup. If they Flusterstorm my Ancestral, then I still have a Brainstorm on the next turn. So I think this is fine. It could be slightly better, but this is probably fine. I will put C, Oracle, Lotus, Ancestral, Street Wraith, Ancestral myself. It's a Flusterstorm, or is it a Force? It's a Sink into Stupor. Okay, I will force this. And then I will pitch... I think I'll pitch Mental Misstep. So let's see. If they have a trap, they could have already trapped. If they have another Force, then I want to have Misstep on their turn. So I guess I'll just pitch this Flusterstorm. Because if they have two Forces here, then I want to be able to go to their turn with at least some kind of interaction. And if this doesn't work out, I can still Oracle on the next turn with land. So I think this is fine. I'm not sure that that was like the absolute best possible, but it seemed reasonable enough. So we don't exactly know what our opponent is working with, besides that they have a Sink into Stupor and stock ups and stuff. We'll just go with Null Rods to be safe and Mindbreak Trap, but I'm not sure. I mean, we could play Steel Sabotage if we think they're playing Tezzerets. It's not unreasonable, but I also don't want to overboard either. Our island can definitely go. I think our chain can go. I wish I had another Flusterstorm here. This is like kind of matchup that you really want to have Flusterstorms in. And then maybe I'll trim a flow state because we don't expect to play 2 long games. Maybe I'll trim 2 flow states and I'll put in 1 Steel Sabotage just to have it as an option. Try that. No force in this hand, but I have Doomsday Ancestral Null Rod. Probably gonna try it. Could be a bait though, considering opponent is a Tinker deck, so. If I cast double Dark Ritual, I only get... How much mana do I get? If I cast double Dark Ritual, I go to 3, and then down to 2, and then up to 5, so I can play Null Rod and Doomsday. Seems like that's a pretty reasonable way to go about this. And if they counter this, that's fine. And if they counter this, it's also fine because I have a DT. Okay, so I want a DT. I could DT for a force, and then just cast Doomsday. Might even be better. Might even be better than playing a Null Rod here. Then the way I'm not restricting my Lotus if I'm comboing. Obviously, they have a Flusterstorm. They can hit either of these. It's probably correct for them to let the Doomsday, the DT resolve and then counter the Doomsday. Just gonna get a force here. And then I might not even force if they counter my Doomsday. Like if they Flusterstorm my Doomsday, obviously it gets countered. But if they force my Doomsday, I might just let it go. Negation, pitching, stock up. Because... Nah, I'll just force it back. This pile, I already have an Ancestral. It's kind of a pile that you wish you had a Daze in. So... Because this Null Rod is not blue, I can't just, like, take a force off the top, which would be ideal. Like, it's probably going to be... Lotus and a land and 2 oracles and a time walk, maybe? No, I can't do that, though. Because I guess I could. I guess if my first card that I draw for turn is land, and then my second card is walk, and then my third card is Lotus. No. I need the Lotus if I want to win the game off the Ancestral. And I'll go down to 1 card left. So I don't think it's walk. I think it's just... No, it's fine. If I just have Oracle as my last card and Lotus as my 4th card. Yeah. Okay, I think this works. Last card, Oracle. Second to last card, Lotus. And then Oracle. And then Time Walk. And then C. So I'm drawing C next turn. And I can either cast Ancestral or Null Rod. I guess there's kind of no reason to be Time Walk over maybe Probe or something. Because it's like a more Flusterstormable target. So maybe that's worse. Is this Tinker or is it stock up? If it's Tinker, I definitely wish I hadn't done this, but... No, but know what Time Walk plays pretty well against? Hold Breacher. Because I could go yeah. So what I can do here, instead of playing into possible Hold Breacher, I can just go land Null Rod. And then I can go Time Walk Oracle. I think I like that a lot. I don't think, like, playing into Hold Breacher here doesn't make a lot of sense, right? I kind of like my pile, actually. I might be good at this game. Oh, okay, there's no hold ratio. So... I mean, I could lose to Ancestral from my opponent as well. Could lose to removal spell here. I mean, my Ancestral is dead at this point, so... Now I'm 2 turns away from playing the second Oracle. Maybe this play is bad. This consign replicated. That's fine. It's always going to be hard with the way I built this pile. It's not like I had Fluster in my pile in any way. It's kind of hard to fit Fluster in my pile if I want to build around a couple different things. So unfortunately, I don't have the ability to play Oracle again right away here because I wanted to give myself the ability to play Ancestral into Lotus. Okay, so it's just, do they have another answer for another one? And if they do, then we die. But like I said, I don't know like how much I'm supposed to play around that. I think if I had to guess, the play I didn't... okay, so they had Twister. They hit a land and they cast Twister. So they wanted to cast Twister before, but I turned it off maybe. Okay. Yeah, the only thing I would like to maybe change here is I think I could have maybe played, just not forced back on the Doomsday and played a longer game. That probably was reasonable. I'm going to take this Steel Sabotage out and put another Flow State back in. Yeah, I think maybe I just went too hard and I put myself in a position that I didn't need to because like I can play a longer game. It's just I don't have a lot of counter spells in my deck is the problem. Without like knowing what's in their hand, it's like kind of tough, right? Null Rod Sewers. That's fine. Again, we don't have a force because I don't have like any negations in my deck post board or in my 75 at all, which is kind of maybe something we need to consider. Also, maybe I'm just like overvaluing null rods here. It's quite possible. But it does look like there are Grixis Thieves, like wheels and stuff. So I think playing around the Hull Breacher was pretty smart. Okay. That's pretty good. Seems like we're going to get Hull Breachered here. So maybe I should have brought in Long Goodbye after we saw the wheel in game 2. Because my hand's about to get Hull Breached and I have nothing to do with it. Maybe I should just pass here. Force, pitching, Time Walk. If I pass here, at least when they Hull Breacher, I can cast Brainstorm in response with a fetch land. Oh, they don't have it. Okay. Misty Rainforest. Okay. Another Doomsday. Ponder. There's a Ritual and a Flusterstorm. I want all of that. Do I want to try to get more mana, though? So I want all of this. I think it's fine to just draw the Flusterstorm now and pass. I feel like I haven't played... I need to play more Doomsday. Such a strong deck. But not the easiest to play sometimes. Another Academy. So now my Flusterstorm's like really just not online. I don't really want... I mean, they would have had to have drawn Hull Breacher this turn. I think I'm okay to just like start pushing through my cards here. Because like they would have cast Hull Breacher before if they had it. So now it's just like... I just need to use my mana, right? What are they thinking about? Like pyroblasting this? Must be. Two Flusters, Preordain, Street Wraith. So I think what I'm gonna do is continue to try to push out my mana here. And I'm gonna preordain one of these Doomsdays to the bottom. Ah, perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait one more turn here because I have everything I want. I have Force, Fluster, Rituals, Cantrip. I mean, if I overdraw, I have to go. But if I don't overdraw, like I draw a fetch land here, I could even wait another turn if I wanted to. They know my hand, but they don't know about Dark Ritual and Force, which is the key cards here probably. They don't know these 3 cards. They know these 4 cards. They know I don't have any lands though, so 4 cards in my opponent's hand. Low state. I mean, that seems like a good enough reason to just chill for a sec. I have a Brainstorm to go with my 1 mana cantrips, so I actually have instant sorcery. Like when your opponent's not putting any pressure on you, you have the ability to play through this. I'm gonna just take Trap and Tarn. I don't think I need the Gush. I guess I will have to discard to hand size though. That's fine. That's not a big deal. Go next turn. Maybe I should have just kept. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. I wish I had like a way to play something powerful at the instant on the end of their turn. Okay, whatever. I will take the Gush. It's back. All right. Dark Ritual Doomsday. What's the plan, Stan? Could cycle the Street Wraith to get another blue card. Probably just pitch. I mean, this trap seems like it might actually be useful here. If they, I don't know. They'd have to play 3 spells. It's kind of hard, right? I might build a pile with Probe here, just to have more information on how to play through. We do have a land drop with our Gush. I mean, we're in a great spot. I just need to not fuck it up. Blue. I guess they could have their own Flusterstorm here. How does that fare? So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So I could double fluster their flusters here to push through. It seems okay. This target, same targets. Let's see what they do with this. My flusters like don't get like a lot better, so I don't really hate using them here. I think they'll pay all. Well, I guess one of the problems is this doesn't actually work. Because my opponent can just pay 3 out of the 5. Because I'll have to go 2, 2, 1, and they can just pay for the 1 or 2. So this plan doesn't even work, so I don't know what I'm doing. This plan is not very smart, so I should probably. Did I fuck up one here? Because that didn't counter anything, did it? I don't know. Maybe I fucked up one here. I must have fucked up one here. What? Okay. I'm just gonna cast a gush to see where I'm going after this. I really messed that up. I don't know exactly what happened, but Magic Online things, those are not good. Okay, I mean, this is fine. This is just, what am I gonna do about this? I mean, I could pay one and then fluster all the copies on one. That would have been pretty good. This is fine. Like, I can wait. I can go again. I'll go again next turn here. Though I won't have fluster back up. So I played this really badly, obviously. I think I must have messed up my fluster storm. I thought I had done one, the first copy and then new copy, same copy, but I think I'm gonna wait a turn here. Do I even have anything to fetch? Those are all my fetches. I clearly should not have flustered back. Or maybe like I said, I could have paid for one and then it would have worked out. I'm gonna wait and see if I can get like a trap play, but they just have not been casting anything, so it's really tough. I don't know. I'd love to like get trap on their ancestral on their second spell, maybe. They just have too much mana for me to fluster storm through, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. I can't dwell on it. We threw away some value, but that's okay. Keep playing through. Our deck should be a lot better than theirs in this kind of game because we have flow states and everything. I'm down to keep waiting here. I mean, the thing that gets gonna hurt me the most is a whole breacher, so I think waiting is fine. Like, we're still full grip, playing lands every turn. It's not like we're super far behind or anything. We're not really pressured. Even going for the Doomsday at all might have just been bad. The one problem we have now is if we draw fetch lands, we can't do anything with them, but again, I'm just looking for my opponent to play a spell so that I can hopefully turn on trap. It doesn't make any sense to jam into all of this open mana. Yeah, I'm waiting. This is a cycle, or is this a whole breacher finally? Oh, Flame of Anor, draw 2. Yeah, sure, whatever. Hopefully that makes them play into trap on their turn. They have another spell? Now they have the whole breacher. I'm gonna Ancestral in response. I'm gonna overdraw here, but I'm gonna use a counter on this whole breacher no matter what, so. And if something bad happens, like, it's better for me. I don't like how this is played out. It's kind of my fault, so. I should feel pretty good about these kind of situations as a Doomsday player. It's hard cast negation. This actually feels like the best use of Flusterstorm. I'll just get the trap now. This will still result me overdrawing. Could be wrong. Yeah, okay. This is actually the best possible thing because now there's a force over the top. I'm going to go fluster on force. And I'm going to do half on the negation as well. Or 2 on the negation. 3 on the negation. So I'm going to do... I'm going to mess this up this time. Same target, same target. Same target. And then negation, negation, negation. I don't think I messed that one up. And I definitely win this Flusterstorm battle because I have open mana. So this went super well for me. This is kind of exactly what we were hoping to see from this exchange. Okay. So I guess they could put all of their Flusterstorms on the Mindbreak trap. But then I still am hitting the negation, and I can figure out if I want to deal with the Hold Breacher or not. That's kind of why I split it up, though. Because they could theoretically have, like, ignored all of these Flusterstorms and then just put their Flusterstorm on Mindbreak Trap, and that would work, and countering Mindbreak Trap. But then I still at least am countering negation, so I still have an Ancestral, and that's just a Hold Breacher on the stack, and I still have a bunch of stuff to work with. If I draw into Dark Ritual, I can Dark Ritual into a hard cast Force on the Hold Breacher instead of pitch cast Forced. My opponent has 3 cards after this. If they Flusterstorm, they have 2 cards after this. It's a beautiful stack. Yeah, so they do have Flusterstorm over the top. They're going for the... they're going to go split cast on the Ancestral and the Mindbreak Trap. Smart. So they're going to see the thing as me. That makes sense. So I actually don't have... Oh, I still have 4 mana. So we have to see how many they use, right? This is actually really kind of crazy. Flusterstorm is an odd card. Are they going all on the Ancestral? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then they can put 3 on the something else. And then I can put pay 3. And we'll see. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the Ancestral. 1, 2, 3, 3 on the Trap, and 5 on the Ancestral. So I let the Ancestral... Oh, I actually have a mental misstep, which they don't know about. So I could theoretically pay for everything, and... So I am countering the forces they have, and we have a Mindbreak Trap that's still on the Hold Breacher. So I can choose to resolve one of these. And the easiest one to do it is just pay 3 on the Mindbreak Trap. And I think that's what I'm going to do, and keep my mental misstep. I mean, it's just an Ancestral Recall. I still have Doomsday Street Wraith. I don't really care about Ancestral Recall. It was kind of bait, and it was perfect bait, so... So this leaves me with a Force and a Misstep, and they don't have a Hold Reacher, and they have 2 cards left, so... And then the Trap. All right, cool. So my opponent has 2 cards. I have Force and Kill on the next turn. So that came out pretty good. They can still have Consign, obviously, but... And a Dark Ritual. Don't see any reason not to Dark Ritual. I guess Mindbreak Trap is the reason not to Dark Ritual, but having a bunch of mana is good against Flusterstorm. Don't know. Hard Cast Force. I guess I can Hard Cast Force myself, because I can still Gush Pile. Okay. So I think it's a Gush Pile into Lotus Oracle, and then Time Walk Oracle. I don't have a what I don't have is like a Thoughtseize or a Duress. That would be like the key card. What I could do is put a Doomsday at the bottom. I don't know if I have enough life. 7, yeah. Maybe I do. So if I could go. So I can go Gush into Lotus Oracle, play Oracle, win, and then on the next turn, K Oracle, win. And if that doesn't work, then I can Doomsday after. That seems good. Done. Last card, Doomsday. Second to last card, Oracle, Lotus, Oracle. Gosh. Cycle Street Wraith. I think I'd rather maybe be able to mill. I'm not sure. So I guess I didn't need a Lotus. I could have done a Sapphire maybe. Cool. I think I played the back part of that game fantastic. I like how I played the back part of that game. Cool. I mean, Doomsday's super sweet. All right, round 2. Kenzaburo. It's going to be a hard-fought blue matchup usually. He usually plays a lot of different colors and different versions of Frog and Arcanist and that kind of thing. So what do we have here? This is exactly what I was talking about, right? Where I have Dark Ritual Doomsday. I mean, this technically is a turn 1 win because of the Street Wraith Ponder, but I have backup flow state after. If I want to go all in on a beat opponent's hand that has no force, I can. Probably will. So the way to do this is I go Lotus on top, Ancestral beneath it. So I go Lotus on top with Ancestral beneath it. I ponder into Lotus. I Street Wraith into Lotus. Lotus into Street Wraith into Lotus. Play Lotus. Ponder into Ancestral. Ancestral down to no cards. And I play Sapphire Oracle. And I have no way to protect it because I don't have a Daze in my deck. If I had a Daze in my deck, I could protect it at the second level here. If I had a Thoughtseize in my hand, I could maybe take a Jet and protect it there. Wait, I can just take Force, right? Am I stupid? I mean, if they counter Ancestral, they counter Ancestral, but... So if I do that... So okay, let's see how this goes again. So I go Street Wraith, down to 4, taking Lotus. Play Lotus, cast Ponder, down to 3 cards and 2 blue. Cast Ancestral down to 0 cards, and then Sapphire Oracle with Force backup. So if my opponent counters me at the Lotus level, then I have an Ancestral follow-up that I can't use. I can use because I will have... I can't use the Ancestral follow-up. So where do I actually have choice? The only choice I have is how to order my back 3 cards. So it's just Force of Will last is my best line, unless I want to do it with Force backup later. But I could have Force of Will first in case I want to make sure Lotus resolves. Okay, I think this is fine. Unless I messed up. So I'm gonna do last card, Oracle, second to last card, Force, Mox, Force, Ancestral, Lotus, Cycle Street Wraith. Looks like they don't have anything. Lotus, Ponder. I want to go this. Ancestral, Mox, Oracle. Okay, so we didn't have to flow state there. I was kind of hoping the game would be that my opponent forces Doomsday and I get to go flow state next. I guess if my opponent negates Doomsday, then I don't get the flow state with with instant sorcery. But then like I ponder to get sorcery on, so it's not that bad. But of course, just winning the game outright on turn 1 is always good. This is kind of, I mean, this is the kind of thing that is enabled by playing Street Wraith in your deck and not playing Lurrus, which is why I do it. My opponent is on a Lurrus deck, probably some kind of frog deck. All I'm going to do here is bring in a Long Goodbye. It's an answer to everything that doesn't get countered. And then I don't think I want Chain. So I'm just going to play Long Goodbye instead of Chain as my best de facto answer. I'm not going to get rid of land because they can wasteland me. And I'm just going to do this. So far, I don't think flow state has mattered very much. It did let me find land trap in that one game. So that was something. Okay, this hand seems fine. I guess this deck doesn't have like the most instants in it, is something to consider. Maybe the deck needs a little bit more instants to play this many flow states. You kind of need to be Dark Ritualing or casting Ancestral, or casting Force on something, but maybe that's okay. I think I'm okay with just doing a Sewers here. Definitely keep a Fluster, though. Could have one more Fluster, so I'm back in. I think it's I feel like it's quite likely that the answer is like you want 2 flow states or something, but I mean, we have to find out, right? We have to play some games and test. Consider. Interesting. I wonder if he's building some kind of flow state deck. Getting another instant in the deck. Normally, though, you have a problem with getting sorceries in the deck. I think for all the other vintage decks I've played, the sorcery count wasn't super high, but I kept on top with Consider. I'm kind of interested in... I was gonna say I'm actually interested in forcing like a frog or something, but oh, it's Thunder Trap Trainer. Okay, it's a good one. They reveal negation. 4 cards left in hand. Mr. Storm. Scassa Ponder. Dark Ritual, Ponder, Preordain. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just take Preordain and float Ritual on top. I don't think I technically need a Ritual in this deck, or in this deck, but in this game. But if I get one, I don't think I'm unhappy getting one, so... And the blue gives me another card for Force right now, which I think is important. If my opponent does something powerful. Though, it's kind of likely my opponent's not going to do something powerful. They kept another card on top. I mean, if it's stock up, it's Trainer. I feel like they're not stocking up. I feel like they're playing just like Grixis Wizards. Gotta be aware of like Flame of Anor target me. That's something I need to think about. Force of Will. So they've gotten negation and will off of Thunder Trap Trainer. This card is so broken, chat. Anyone who tells you this card is bad does not know how how good it is. I'm gonna draw the Dark Ritual and fetch away the extra cantrip, and then go with a Preordain. Low state mental misstep. I think I'll take a mental misstep. Then I will preordain one more time here, looking for that Doomsday. Oh, Spell Pierce. Okay, I think I'll just misstep that. Gets a source, gets a instant into my yard so that I can flow state next turn. Oh, there's the Doomsday though. Okay. Do I already play a land this turn? Did. Okay, I'll take the Doomsday, but I'll also take the land. I'm thinking about playing fetch land, double fetch land, flow state into Dark Ritual Doomsday. Scroll. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Okay. Ancestral. Have a fluster at least. They have so much interaction though. To try to kill through this seems really hard. They can have like double force ancestral at this point. Mental misstep gives me instant. Now I have flow state. Negation. Pitching dress down. It's fine. So their hand can be ancestral force blue card. I think we have that beat. So, oh wait, I don't actually have it beat because I don't have a cantrip, but oh, I think I actually can't win this game. I feel like I can't win this game because I don't actually have like a duress in my deck. So I think the answer is going to be fucking hell, this is gonna be tough. I think the answer is going to be ancestral, 2 oracles, a lotus, and a misstep. And I'll have the misstep be the second card down. I don't need a lotus, but I actually think it's good. Okay, yeah, this looks fine. I might not win the game with this. I don't know that I thought this through all the way. But Oracle, Oracle, undo. Oracle on the bottom, Oracle, Lotus, Oracle, misstep, ancestral. I go to 4, and they still have force ancestral, and I still have force fluster. I mean, it's possible this is still a win. This is ancestral targeting them because they saw mental misstep in the pile. Yeah, I mean, that's fine, I think. I mean, we know they might have force. I mean, we don't know that they have force backup, but they might have force backup there. I guess if they have force backup there, then I force fluster, and then I probably win. So probably, maybe I am supposed to fight over that. They can still have Flame of Anor target me, but I do have this Fluster Storm, so they don't know what's in my hand. They just know that these 3 cards, they know the total of 8 cards that I have, but they don't know which ones are in my hand. I wonder if it's even worth it for me to put 2 oracles in my pile. Time Walk. Okay, I think I have to fluster that. I don't like the idea of that happening here. So now I don't have fluster backup. So we might be in trouble now. But I can't get Flame of Anor now, so. This gets forced, pitching, Spell Pierce. Force, pitching, force. Oh, you know what this doesn't do? This doesn't play both oracles because there's an oracle on the bottom. Because I draw misstep. That's okay, actually, though, because I can still play Oracle, and then have a misstep, and then go next turn. So it's not the end of the world. Okay, I don't think I built that pile correctly. I don't. I mean, if I don't put a misstep in the pile though, my opponent just holds onto ancestral, right? Like ancestraling themselves there is only because I have a misstep in my pile. Maybe could be incorrect. So I don't actually need this Lotus to. I don't actually need this Lotus to win here. Why was I looking to have the Lotus? I don't understand. This pile was awful. I think this pile was awful. I think it was supposed to be Flusterstorm. Yeah, I think this is supposed to be Flusterstorm. But I had a Flusterstorm and then I used a Flusterstorm, so I would have already had Oracle Flusterstorm here. I think the pile is fine. It's just the Lotus is bad. And if the Lotus is bad, what can it be? It could be another Force. It could be a Flusterstorm. It could be a Thoughtseize if I had a Thoughtseize in my deck. It could be a Daze if I had a Daze in my deck. Could not be a Gush. I think the pile is okay except for this Lotus. You know what it could have been? It could have been a Gush. And so if I could have put a Gush, and I could have put the Gush here in the first place, so that way if the Ancestral gets countered and I can't fight over it, on the next turn I'm still gushing. But I'm also worried about, like, if my Ancestral gets countered and they still have Ancestral, I can't gush. No, I can't gush because I'll have misstep. No, but I can't misstep my own. No, so that doesn't work. Like, the thing is, if I Ancestral and they Ancestral in response, then I can draw into misstep and misstep my own Ancestral. But if my Ancestral somehow gets countered and I gush and they have Ancestral in response, I can't counter my Ancestral after. Or so I can't counter my gush after. I don't know the exact answer, but I'm pretty sure this Lotus is not a good card here, and I would want to play a different card here, but I don't know what the answer is. And someone in chat will tell me. Chalky or Brian Palace or someone. Okay, on to round 3. This hand is not very good, in my opinion. I'm gonna mulligan this one. I don't know that I consider this hand to be much better, but I don't think I'm gonna go to 5, so this hand has at least the pieces it kind of wants. Ooh, Cavern, it means this Flusterstorm is bad. Robot. Blue Robot. Oh. Uncounterable Warped Emissary. Alright, do your worst. I mean, I could Street Wraith and try to hit Force, but I don't think I actually want to do that. I guess I wait and see if they play something that matters. What the hell is that? That is an Urza Prince of Krog. Krug? Never seen that card in my life. Alright, another Chromox. Pitching Force, so they have 1 card left after this, and they can replay the Emissary next turn. Okay. So my opponent decided they're just putting the threats on the table. I can respect that. So 3 1/1s, and the next turn they can play a 3/3 uncounterably. Uh-huh. Well, I mean, I just need to find a Doomsday and I win, so I just need to use my Undercity Sewers, the most powerful land. Yeah, Robot from Exile, blue. Yep. Take 3, go to 17, go to 16. I mean, this spot seems fine. My opponent had to throw away Force to get this kind of start. I just need to find the Doomsday. Oracle. Probably not. Cantrip. Chain of Vapor. Buys some time. We haven't hit none of our 20 cantrips in our deck. Is it 20 now? 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. I guess if you count Street Wraiths and add some tutors in, we have over 20 things that we want to hit. I did hit Street Wraiths, so I was going to not count Street Wraiths, so. Okay, is it another robot? What is this? Ravenous robots. Whenever you cast an artifact, spell. Okay. Creature tokens gain haste. Saga Gaming as well. All right, I'm going to just use my chain to gain 3 here. I just need to hit the stuff I need to hit here. I have instant. I don't have sorcery actually in my yard for flow state. I can crack 1 fetch because I can still have the other fetch. I mean, I feel like keeping the other action pieces and just needing to draw cantrips seems like the Doomsday way, but hasn't really worked out for me here. I guess next turn they can make a construct and give it haste. So maybe I should have been holding that chain. if I should have hold the chain, because I kind of didn't see the whole. No, they don't have enough mana to make a construct and give it haste. They don't actually have red mana either, so never mind. I drew another Flusterstorm. 3, 5, 6. Okay, I mean I think I wait 1 more turn here. Actually, don't have a lot of time though. 6, I go to 4. I'm not gonna be able to Street Wraith after is the problem. So I might have to Street Wraith before to try to draw into the cards I need and draw a cantrip after. I guess I don't use the fetch. No. Okay, I can't actually Street Wraith. So I should have Street Wraith last turn here and tried to draw into a card that mattered. That was a mistake. I was too quick. I was too hasty. I was too stupid. I should have Street Wraith that turn looking for the cantrip. I guess I would have cast. Yeah, okay. I should have done that. They drew Ancestral Recall. Okay. I will Flusterstorm your Ancestral Recall. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You gotta let the storm go. Same target. I don't, man. I mean, we'll see what I draw if it would have changed anything here. I will also Flusterstorm your Ancestral Recall. Okay. So this is my last turn to win. I'm gonna be at 4 life, so I can. Oh, actually, I can't fetch no matter what now, right? They're just gonna warp this for no reason. I don't think it does anything, right? Oh, this thing gets a 1/1. Okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't think I've played with that card yet. So if I want to win this game, I need some help. Game Doomsday, Lotus. That's probably not doing it. Preordain. So even a Doomsday right now isn't enough. I need an Ancestral or something. Preordain. Wow. I think I've drawn the worst possible cards. Lotus. So I think I can blue off the Lotus. Preordain. Okay, I don't have Cruise to draw to. I can hit Flow State, though. All right, Flow State. So this Flow State needs to hit... Oh, wait, I'm not going to have enough mana. Damn. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough mana after this. So I could hit Time Walk into Oracle Console, I guess. Damn. What the fuck? Okay, I just bricked for 30 cards or 18 cards or something, so that seems like something that can happen. I don't actually know that Null Rod is like good against my opponent's deck, but it might be okay. No, it probably is. It's just if they can like make a bunch of like if they play Cavern and make a bunch of 1/1s, the Null Rod doesn't do anything. But I will go Mindbreak Trap and Steel Sabotage. Or I don't think I'm gonna go Steel Sabotage. I think I'm just gonna go Mindbreak Trap in the Energy Flux. And then I'm gonna take out Island and the Flusterstorms and the Chain. I do know they have Force, but I don't know that I want Flusterstorms here. Let's try this. Obviously, Energy Flux and Null Rod, not a combination gaming, but I think that's okay as well. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think, chat? Was I supposed to mulligan my hand because I didn't have a like anything to go off of, but like I was drawing into so many cantrips, right? If I draw a cantrip on the earlier turns in that game, isn't it fine? And my deck is mostly cantrips. I could be wrong. Could just be you have to mulligan that hand. But again, we didn't know what we were playing against either, so the Flusterstorms weren't really good until they stopped Ancestral, so that was something, but I mean, that is kind of the downside of having the main deck Flusterstorms, is they don't always hit things against some players. But a lot of times you can pitch them to Force if they're not good. And we are one less Flusterstorm than normal. Yeah, not having access to Cruise there was a little rough. Because, like, say that Flow State was the Cruise spot, then we could have maybe cruised out. But, I mean, the 3 cards were actually 3 cards. We saw 3 cards with Flow State, so they were not going to win us the game. This is a Doomsday, a Time Walk, a Misstep, and a Ponder with a Slow Land. It's kind of unfortunate, but also, is this hand good if I have a fetch? Yeah, it's probably good if I have a fetch. I'm keeping this, though. Obviously, this is a downside of having a Sewers, but it might not matter either. We'll see. The upside of having a Sewers is last game, where we got to like get rid of a dead card off the top of our library while looking for answers. I cannot keep these cards, though. These are not going to do it. Looking for Force and lands. Wraith. I will hold Wraith because it has some value. I guess it doesn't really have a lot of value because I do have a Gush. So if I draw Dark Ritual, I still have Sewers for Gush. So I don't actually know that it does actually have value. So I probably should have just cycled it. But then again, there's nothing I can hit. I guess I could hit the... What the hell? There's a Witch Blast Metal in this deck? Didn't they just play blue-red cards? What are they doing with a Witch Blast Metal? Huh? I'm so confused. Skull Clamp. I'll just messed up this. I don't know. Mindbreak Trap. Okay. I'm gonna cycle this. Try to hit a land that casts my spells. It's okay. I don't think I need another land because now I have Gush, so. Oh, I guess I could have hit another land just to go Doomsday win. I should have done that. Sorry. That one's on me. I kind of forgot about just casting Doomsday. I was like, well, I have Time Walk, I have Gush, I have Land Drop. I don't need to. But I guess theoretically here, if I use my Gush for... Wow, they're really not playing anything? And they have all these Witch Blast Meadows? I'm so confused. That does the same thing, huh? It's actually just straight up better. All right, I'm going to go for it because I have Force. Negation. Pitching Time Walk. Force. Pitching Trap. Okay, I'm going to go with a Gush Ancestral pile. And so I'm going to go with Ancestral Gush into Ancestral Lotus Force. And then Oracle and Flusterstorm. Oh, I cut Flusterstorm. So I can't get 2 forces, right? What if I don't use Lotus? No, I have to use Lotus. Gush into... And I don't need a Lotus right away, so it's going to be Gush into Ancestral Force, and then Ancestral into Lotus Oracle. If I had one more counter spell here. If I had another counter spell, like I guess a Daze wouldn't do it, then I would be okay with this line, but... because Ancestral is drawing me... Because my Force is pitching to Time Walk. So maybe I don't want to go with Ancestral. Maybe I just want to Gush into... Maybe I don't want to go all in then. Maybe what I want to do is I want to Gush into Probe. Gush into Probe, Lotus, Oracle, and then I'll have Oracle Force. Seems like maybe a better idea. I can play this over a couple more turns instead. So I'm going to go Oracle on the bottom. I'm going to go Force, Lotus, Oracle, Probe, Gush, Probe. They have Mox Opal, Pearl, and a Winota. Okay. You got it. I will kill you. Well, this also actually gives me Time Walk Oracle, which is kind of cute. I still need to take 2 turns after that, though. So maybe it's not actually that good. Okay, I think I maybe could have played that slightly better, but I think it makes sense. So I definitely want Trap. If they have Winota, does that change anything on my side? I don't really think it does. I think I just like have to play through it as fast as I can, right? I think these null rods are gonna go though. These null rods don't seem good. So if that's the case, then maybe I'll bring in Snuff Out, and I'll bring Chain back in. Try that. So I don't like this hand because I do want a hand that has a Force in it, probably. Though they do have Cavern, so maybe not. I feel like this hand's too slow for what my opponent's trying to do here. I'm just gonna try to mulligan this. This has an Energy Flux. But again, if they're Winota-ing, the Energy Flux is not very good. I still think I'm gonna keep this one though. And then I think I'm actually gonna get rid of the Preordain. Gives me 2 Street Wraiths and for Force Mind Break Trap, and also the ability to just flow state. I'll probably jump flow state anyways. Robot. Yeah, like the Energy Flux is not good against Winota, but it's decent against the Pinnacle Emissary stuff. And with a Sapphire, if we hit Dark Ritual, we can play the turn 1 Energy Flux, which will probably lethal our opponent. This immediately is a Mox Opal turned on, which is kind of sick. Ancestral, huh? It's pretty good. Snuff Out. All right, well, we're going to have to hope that Dark Ritual Energy Flux is good here. feel like it could be. And I will have this snuff out. Another Urza. This is, oh god, it's a 5-mana Urza Chief Artificer. Can't snuff that one out. I was about to say, please don't play Deafening Silence on me. That would be the end of the world. Oh, that is a lot of mana now. Okay. So if they don't have a counter spell for our play here, I think we're in a decent spot. No, they have Mental Misstep. So now we have to wait a whole turn on this Energy Flux. Okay. That might be enough. Simply having the Mental Misstep might be enough. Hopefully they like play Winota this turn and I can just snuff it, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to live. I don't know if we will, but yeah, I think that's fine. I don't think I'm going to snuff it out either. I'm going to let them pay for it first. Each player who casts a non-artifact spell cannot cast non-artifact spell this turn. That's fine. All right, so they have the ability to keep 2 things next turn, and I have a snuff out. So I think this is fine. Cool deck. It's a sweet one. I haven't been very happy with Ethersworn Canonist in the past, but we'll see. Hopefully they don't have Force. I mean, if they have Force, then we just die, but what am I going to do? My opponent's Ethersworn Canonist deck forces me, then... Okay, I'm gonna go until beginning of combat. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yield until the beginning of combat. See what they pay for. And then we have Snuff Out, which I guess doesn't really help us because it takes more damage, but... I assume my opponent pays for like Aethersworn Canonist and Pinnacle Emissary. And then on the next turn, they get wiped, though. So we'll have to see how much life we're at. Unless they pay for like Soul Ring or something. Okay, Soul Ring is down. Chromox is down. Mox is down. So they just paid for this. So they're going to have to keep... So I think we actually are not going to snuff out. We're going to take 5 and go to 9. That way, if they play a land and pay for it on the next attack, I can kill it on the next turn. Because one of these is going to die, or both of them are going to die next turn to Energy Flux anyways. They're not going to show me, so that's fine. I will take 5 and go to 9. And if they don't play a land, they lose both. And if they play a land, they can keep one, and then we can just snuff it out if we want to. I'm going to let the Sapphire go so I can cast Flow State. I think this Energy Flux should do it. Okay, they have a Mana Grip, so that's what I'm saying. This will let them pay for one of their things. Next turn. Now, if they have another land after that, this is where that's a huge problem. Okay. So I'm gonna let the Sapphire go. And then I have a fetch land. I will cast Flow State. Could maybe get Dark Ritual Street Wraith here. Doomsday. I kind of feel like Doomsday is not what we're looking for. But I didn't put that much removal in my deck. Oh, I just did it as like ponder. Okay. Well, that's not great. I just resolved it like it was ponder. Okay. I should have been paying a little bit more attention. I was like, why isn't this working? That's really bad. Because now I can't even fetch for that. Yeah, it's basically the worst possible outcome. What was the other ones? It was Fetchland and Doomsday. I don't know that I can cast a Doomsday in this game, and I don't know that I want another Fetchland, so it's not even the end of the world. All right, so I just want everything to die here, and then I will snuff out whatever they have left. Are they going to keep the Canonist, or they're going to keep the Emissary? So I think I'm going to snuff this out here so that they can't have less likely to have Force and they can't get like 1/1s that might get Academy or something. I'm going to snuff that out. I'm at 3, so I feel like not taking Doomsday is fine. I just don't know where I'm at in life here. Consult, okay. Let's see what's on the top of my library. Preordain, that seems acceptable. I could consult for a Dark Ritual and get a Street Wraith going, but I think I just hold it for Oracle. I'm at 3, like I could easily die to like a flurry of robots that somehow get haste or something. I mean, we've seen a way for them to give him haste, so flow state preordain. Okay, let's just go with flow state. I'll resolve it correctly this time because I get 2 cards. Dark Ritual Force Misstep. I guess I will take Dark Ritual Force. Because I could technically consult for a blue card. I kind of didn't want to take those cards. I wanted to take the preordain that I bottomed, actually. So, Academy's here. That's probably a bad thing for me. We'll see. I don't want to cast anything if I don't have to. But this does mean my Street Wraith blocking plan probably doesn't work anymore. So Chromox makes 1 mana here. And then what do they play? Play the 2/2 robot thing. That can't give haste right now because they don't have red mana. So I can still block that. Okay, I think I am just gonna go Dark Ritual, cast Street Wraith here. I'm at a very low life total. If they like pay for this and then they cast a Chromox and give it red and then give things haste, like that could be a problem, I guess. Because they can pay off just Academy at the moment. I don't really think I can do anything about it. I think I need to like draw to my my things to win the game. FCAT's not very I don't know. Why are they tapping both? That's not good for them. Wait, they let it go? They're gonna keep the Chromox? Okay. They didn't need to tap their cavern to do that. Okay, I mean, that's good for me. It's one less way for me to die. All right, ponder. Doomsday. I can technically cast Doomsday. I don't want to play Doomsday here. I'm going to just shuffle. Gosh. Okay. I'm going to leave the top land here. Flow state. Dime Walk DT. Okay. I will fetch. I will Time Walk. And then next turn, I'm getting close to DT Consult. But I won't have force backup if I fetch, which I do want. Never mind. I have it. Okay, DT. Oracle. Lotus. Oracle. And Consult. They've got Mental Misstep. No, they've already used it. They have Mind Break Trap. They have Force. Okay, nothing. I don't know what they tried to cast there they couldn't cast, but weird games. All right, onward to round 4. Doomsday, 1 land. Not an amazing hand, but I don't think it's a hand I'm putting back. We'll see. I think I'm willing to get Underground Sea and cast Ponder. There's some risk inherent in that plan, but I think getting a basic island here is really not amazing. And if my opponent's going to give me another turn to draw no more cards, I think that's okay. Ancestral Sapphire Consult. Those are pretty close to exactly what I want. Wow, okay. That's crazy. I will play Sapphire. I will pass the turn, and then on their upkeep, I will Ancestral Recall myself. If this doesn't work out, I actually don't have Oracle Consult on the next turn because I'm down a land here, but if it resolves, no. Force pitching PO. Okay, so it's probably Jewel, which means I'm probably dead because I don't know if I have 2 turns to try to win. It's kind of unfortunate, but... Oh, actually, a misstep target is insane here. Might buy me a turn that I need. See if that misstep buys me the turn I needed. I did get the force out of my opponent's hand, though, so I think if I can hit the land drop, I'll have Oracle Consult, and it'll likely work. This is probably a ring. Maybe they'll go for Jewel. I was playing around Spell Pierce. That's fine. Like I said, I think I'll just play towards a land to win. It's pretty unlikely they have another force blue card, so... Ritual. Ritual doesn't change the game here. Unfortunately, I can Doomsday. I just don't think that's a great plan. I mean, it's a better plan than doing nothing. Maybe that gets a force out of their hand. Yeah, unfortunately here I don't have anything, so I'm going to go down 14-7. I'll go to 7, so I can Street Wraith 3 times and then play Underground Sea, probably. It's probably just my best plan. Doesn't seem like there's anything that makes more sense than that, right? And this shows my opponent I don't have a force, but... Yeah, I go to 7. Sorry, I go to 7 and half is 14. Sorry, 14 and then half is 7. I can Street Wraith 3 times. Don't have to put any of those, like, probes or anything on the stack. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is fine. I think we're going to lose, but that's okay. We tried our best here. So Oracle on the bottom, Underground Sea above, and then 3 Street Wraiths. I don't know. I mean, I made a great play, I think, in the start, and then I had my opponent force, which was good, and then misstep he bought us a whole extra turn, and then we just didn't draw the land we needed. So we either die or we win. We'll see. Looks like they have a jewel. Sad. Well, Singing a Stupor is quite good here as well. Tinker for another jewel. Kind of disgusting, but we had our 1-turn window and we didn't draw out of it, so. I still think I like my play with cycling into the Ancestral. Made them force, so. Not too sad about the play we made. It just, sometimes you just don't be Jewel. I think we even got lucky to get one extra turn because what we did was we drew, we had misstep and we had a misstep target, so. It's usually not very likely that you'll have a good misstep target, but. Just a full combo, huh? They have 6 jewels in play and more than half of their deck left. It's pretty good. Free Tezzeret. And a Time Walk. Yeah, I guess I'll concede. Oh, I'm too bored. I don't want to sit there through that. The good news is I have a Null Rods. So we have additional powerful payoffs, traps, and sabotages. I don't think that Flux is very good here. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Flux for this. And then we can take out Island, Chain, Fluster. Those cards don't really have great hits. And then I don't really like Misstep in general, so I'll just play with these. We got 5 good hits here in a matchup that I think is already quite good. That's pretty great. So the question is, do I invest multiple cards here to try to get this to resolve, or do I just play it and try to resolve it? So the question is, like, do I think they have more likely to have a force, or are they more likely to have a trap, or are they more likely to have negations? I think the most likely thing they're likely to have is a force. They could have a misstep technically as well. So like what I'm saying is we could theoretically like preordain or ponder looking for a force to back up our spell. I think I'm going to do that. Ancestral Recall Black Lotus. Okay, so I'm gonna do Ancestral Recall Preordain. Don't need a Lotus Petal at this point. Yeah, I guess I will cast Ancestral now. Oh, okay, that resolved. If that resolves, then I'll just go for the Doomsday kill. I think if they had a counter, they would just counter it. Okay, so from here, I have a Preordain into a Black Lotus, a Brainstorm into an Ancestral. Preordain down to 4, Brainstorm down to 1, and then back up to 3, Ancestral, and then Oracle with a Force or something. Let's try. So let's see. I cast Preordain. I draw a Lotus. That's 4. I cast Lotus. I cast Brainstorm. I go to 1 card and then up to 3 cards, drawing Ancestral and Force. I cast Ancestral. Then I don't need anything else. So just put another Oracle on the bottom. Oracle. Sorry, Oracle. Sorry, Oracle Force, Oracle, Ancestral Lotus. Oracle Force, Oracle, Ancestral Lotus. Preordain. I guess I could use the Brainstorm first, huh? Okay. I mean, the broken hand's the broken hand. We got one, they got one. We go to game 3. I mean, I was ready to like get my Ancestral Forest and then play Null Rod. I was pretty happy about that. But if they have nothing, they have nothing, and we just move on. This hand doesn't do anything. I will say I kind of have felt the missing negation a little bit. We mulled. This hand doesn't have a counter spell, but they mulled a 5. Probably just gonna keep this. It's a little hard to put this back on their mold of 5. Like, seems like a reasonable 6 that we can just keep and try to play through. I could theoretically have bottomed maybe Ritual instead, but 2 mocks. Bobble. Yeah, it turns off my Lotus and my forces. Bunch of dark rituals. So now I definitely wish I still had my other land. Wait for another land here. I think I just bottom these. Okay. Looks like they don't have follow-up, so low action, 5-card hand for them, but they have a bobble to prevent me from doing things, which makes sense. Can't cast that right away. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna time walk to try to build out my mana. And then I'll probably cast Probe and see what would they have. Tinker, Force, Lodestone. Okay. All right. I will Dark Ritual, Doomsday. No, yeah, okay. So my opponent could have cracked here and then forced this. If they had done that, I would have just, this is fine. Like, it's actually, this is all, obviously this is a mistake, and my opponent, you know, quit because of it, but it's not going to change this game because this force goes like this. They can crack this and maybe they have another blue card, so maybe they get to keep Tinker. But this Dark Ritual, I just let this Dark Ritual get countered, and then I go Lotus Doomsday. And I still count my force. And I don't win on this turn, but I win on the next turn, and I still have force. So like it's gonna be a win no matter what. So I'm not too worried. Like, this, obviously this is a mistake, but I think we're winning this game in terms of, you know, evaluating our deck. And I mean, we talked a lot about this in the last video, but wins and losses themselves, the variable outcome of win or loss, isn't actually a very good metric on determining how good your deck is. It's more about what your deck does and how often it does it, and if it puts you in the states to win and lose games. You know, some amount of winning and losing is going to be about, or not some amount, like a large amount of winning and losing is going to be about individual player choices, as well as just the variance inherent in what you're drawing every game. So you always want to kind of evaluate those things, like what would an ideal scenario here look like, what would an ideal scenario look like, that kind of thing. All right, round 5 for the trophy versus Clap Clamp himself. I got a Doomsday, but I'm really missing a land here. What's my percentage? I am 13, 14, 15. It's not very high. I think I have to put this one back. This one looks better, but not much better. I think I'm just going to put the console back. Well, man, it's so bad. If I put one of the two black cards back, I could use the other one to cast something. It's just, I don't know that that's a good plan, because if this was an Underground Sea, I could Demonic for a Doomsday and then Dark Ritual, and then I'd have Street Wraith, and I wouldn't have a lethal, but I'd have at least a turn 1 protected. But it doesn't seem like that will work out very well. And then if I don't keep Doomsday this, then I'm like, why am I keeping this Dark Ritual? Okay, I think I'm gonna keep the Dark Ritual, and I'm gonna cycle the Street Wraith to try to find something better to do with my life here. Like a Preordain. Yeah. That's the one. A Doomsday, and a Flusterstorm, and a land. Holy shit. So I think the answer is we take the Flusterstorm and we play the Lotus Petal, and so we'll have the Flusterstorm up, and then we draw the Doomsday the land next turn, and then we can theoretically draw the Doomsday after that if we want. We don't have a cantrip after that, which is annoying, but I had to use my Street Wraith to get our game going here. Looks like we're probably going to play against Raker or Jewel again, which means no Frog in this league, so at the very least, we do have a Force protected by a Flusterstorm on this one ring for turn 1. Or the Jewel they have, I guess. Oh, and an Academy. Does this Fluster even do anything? PO with 7 floating mana. So if I were to force this and they were to force back, Fluster would do something. They only have 1 mana left, so I don't think this Fluster does anything later, so I will just force this pitching Flusterstorm. Unless their last card's like Ancestral or another PO, I guess. But I have a Doomsday coming, so I think I'm just going to force pitching Flow State to try to theoretically get... Okay. I was like, if they have a follow-up PO, then I can at least counter that and give myself the time. But unfortunately, like I said, I still can't win the game immediately, so I have to fade for 2 turns, which is probably impossible. They didn't have a Doom... what's it called there, so... They could have a Hardcast Force, though. Okay, so I will just go with an Ancestral Pile, try to win. So I will go for Ancestral with a Gush underneath it, so that if my first Ancestral gets countered, it's fine. And then underneath the Ancestral, I will have Lotus Petal and Oracle. So this way, if my Ancestral gets countered, I hit Gush. If Ancestral resolves, I just play Oracle. And I put the Gush in so that... I guess I don't need a Lotus at all. So I can put Force third. Yeah, I guess I can put Force third. Because my Flusterstorm is never online, so... so I will have Ancestral Gush, Force, Oracle. Yeah. Oracle, Force, Gush, Ancestral. This plays into like Mental Misstep a little bit with this ordering, but I can't Gush into Ancestral because I will have already drawn a card, so... Well, it's time to see if we can fade for one more turn here. It's not unlikely against Jewel. All right, we got there. That seems very lucky for me. And then, like I said, we get to play Null Rods and Sabotages and Traps. So yeah, we're kind of a very narrow league in terms of what we played against. We did not play against any frog, unless actually Kenzaburo was probably on frog. We just didn't see any. So we did play against a frog deck, so. Oh, I don't know. Doomsday doing Doomsday things. So Island, Flusters, Chains. Again, we could have Misstep for Vexing Bauble, but I don't think that's necessary. What was the last card I took out here? Oh, I have to take out Misstep. So do I think Misstep is better, worse than any of the cards here? I mean, maybe Misstep is better than having a fourth flow state, just so that we have an answer to a bauble. I think it's probably fine. It also hits, Soul Ring and Vault, but there's just very few targets. Okay. I think I'm down to play turn 1 Null Rod. Obviously, bad against turn 1 Jewel, but good against turn 1 Ring, so. Alright. Black Lotus is bad for me. For sure. Ancestral. Oh, Tezzeret. Okay. Tezzeret is one of the ways they can play through a Null Rod. It also means they're probably going to get a Vexing Bauble and turn off my Jet, which is not great. Saga is also another way they can play through a Null Rod. Oh, they just C-Arcade me. Okay, I mean, what am I going to do? Got C-Arcade. I don't think I'm allowed to push this hand back. Oh, wow, actually, would have if they had gone Vexing Bauble pass, I would have been able to go Dark Ritual Null Rod. Okay. Seems fine. Show me secrets, please. Ancestral, Bauble, Sync, Key, Metamorph. What a weird hand. Alright, let's ponder. Steal, Sabotage, Dark Ritual, Preordain. The problem is they're gonna go Sync, Bauble, Pass, and then they're gonna have protected Ancestral Recall. Unless I bounce the Bauble, I guess. I could force the Bauble, but then they still have an unprotected Recall. I mean, I guess I'm supposed to take these cards and then play from there. And we'll see where we get to. Yeah. So I know I'm drawing Preordain. Do I want to draw Dark Ritual after? Probably not. So I think we just fetch and Preordain. Mental Misstep would be good. Brainstorm. Fetch land. I think I'm just gonna keep this to pitch to force. Because what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bounce the Vexing Bauble and then force the PO. Or force the Ancestral. Oh, they're just going to wait. I guess I can just Brainstorm and stuff then. If they Ancestral, then they just overdraw and I have to try to counter the thing that matters. Okay. Why would they wait? Oh, they don't overdraw. They go to exactly 7. I mean, this is really bad for me. But what am I going to do? I think I'm just going to get through these cards. I wanted to get to a land so I could flow state and then still have Sabotage up. Ancestral and a land. Okay. So if I bounce the Bauble, can I do anything worthwhile right now? Not really. Let me just cycle one more time. Okay, so now if I bounce the Bauble, I can Time Walk. Assuming they have no force. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Return the bauble. Time walk into our flow state. Did they draw force? They drew force. Yeah. I think we just force back. Because my forces are going to get turned off by the bauble anyways, unless something crazy happens. I think this Oracle is how I win the game, probably. Dark Ritual. Maybe it's not. Flow state. Null Rod. Okay. Something. Replay Bauble, I assume. Sure. That's it? No land? Okay. We get to use our Undercity Sewers. Force is not necessary, but I could keep it to force back. I don't think so. I think we want to find cantrips here. Dig. Perfect. Just get rid of our lands and our Street Wraith and our Lotus Petal. Doomsday Dark Ritual. Ponder. So just Doomsday Ponder. That's a win. So I guess it's not a win because there's a bauble and there's a null rod. So how can I guess there's actually no way of me progressing from this turn here. So I think what we do is Ancestral Recall, Time Walk, Sabotage, Oracle, and another land. So I can Ponder to go one deeper on my next turn. I actually don't even think I want Ancestral. I think I Ponder to go one deeper. I go to 4. On the next turn, I go to 3. So I put a Street Wraith, which takes me to 2. And then I play an Oracle. So I play a Time Walk. Sorry, I go to 4. I go to 3. I Time Walk to 2. I play Oracle. I could phase out, I guess. So maybe I do want Ancestral then. So I just draw Ancestral on 4 and draw 3. And then I play a Time Walk. Then I can die to... Oh, my opponent doesn't have an Ancestral left. Then I play a Time Walk and I play Oracle. Ancestral into Sabotage, Time Walk, Oracle. With another... Ancestral into Sabotage, Time Walk, Oracle. Sure, let's try that. Land, Oracle, Sabotage, Time Walk, Ancestral, Ponder, Sabotage, Time Walk, Ancestral, done. Pass. See what happens. I can't think of a way to die, so 3 mana. Hole Breacher. Did I play around that with the Time Walk? I did. Cool. Okay, not bad. 5. I like putting the time walk in the pile to play around hold for that kind of thing. Time walk is a nice one to have in those piles. So we have our first Doomsday flow state 5-0. I don't know if that's actually a true statement or not. I think it might be. But yeah, I had to eliminate a lot of flex cards to play flow states in here, and they were fine. They didn't seem like they were a huge deal. I feel like I won most of my games with the normal cards, but you know, I kind of felt the missing Flusterstorm a little. I felt the missing Negation a little. I didn't really feel the missing Necro or missing Vamp or missing Cruise. That's the upside here. So, you know, maybe the answer here is trim 1 or 2 flow states to get like Fluster Negation back in your deck. I could see that and then just have 2 flow states, but I don't know. It's nice having just infinite card draw. I will say our sideboarding came in clutch, right? Seal Sabotage came in clutch. Trap came in clutch. Flux came in clutch. Null Rod came in clutch. Snuff Out was okay. Actually, Snuff Out kind of came in clutch because we got them to pay for things and then lose everything. So we didn't bring, you know, we didn't face Dredge, so we didn't bring in our Tabernacles and our Ley Lines. And we didn't bring, and we brought our Longaby in once for Lurrus, but it didn't come up. So I will say, I think the most important things in this league were actually probably my sideboard choices of Energy Flux and Null Rod, which I would not leave home without 2 Null Rods in the sideboard of my Doomsday deck. It's that strong. Do we think Petal was good? Petal was okay. Certainly wasn't anything wrong with Petal. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Doomsday is a great deck, especially when you play against no frogs. I think Doomsday is extremely, extremely, extremely favored versus the field that is not frog. But when you play against frog, the matchup is so bad that it makes, you know, sometimes it weighs so heavily on your matchup spread that it's an issue. But here we were able to vanquish our one possible frog opponent, and then we played against a bunch of different combo decks, and we were able to pull out. Pull out. No, that's not the what we're looking. Pull it off. That's the one we were looking for. Okay, so if you made it to the end of this video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you want to get a heart from me for engaging with this video and watching all the way to the end, you can type in a comment in the YouTube section, pull out. More YouTube content, more vintage content on this YouTube channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'll see you then.